Hi friends, a warm good evening. This is Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai here with one more session on Ask Chanakya. Thank you so much for participating again and again with different questions, and I'm glad that we are actually starting one more session where I'm going to be answering all your questions that has come in. Thank you once again. So let us start with the first question that has been given by Ashutosh Srivatsa. He says, "Greetings, sir. If I would be going to a war right now, what would be the three advices you would give me apart from Mitra Sanyoga?" I'm so glad, Ashutosh, that you have actually studied the other suggestions that Chanakya would give, and one of the suggestions is about Mitra Sanyoga. Very good question, excellent. So what would be the three suggestions that Chanakya would give? So very simple. Suppose you are on war, and as you said, right now you have to immediately go on war. There are three stages, and there are three advices to these three stages. So first of all, if you have time, consult and call a meeting of the intelligent people, the advisors, and ask them. So let's say the war is going to happen tomorrow, and you have time enough to call everyone. Like a king can call all the ministers, sit together and discuss. In fact, Chanakya would say you need to consult even the woman in the house before you actually go for war. First one, because it's important that you take the advices from everyone. Second stage, suppose you don't have enough time, but at least you can call a few people or one or two intelligent people, like famous stories about Akbar Birbal, or as they say Chanakya Chandragupta, or Krishna Deva Raya and Tenali Raman. So you cannot call maybe 10 people a whole meeting, but at least you can talk to two people or two experts or one expert. Now think about it, that actually you don't have time for anything. Then what do? You have to take a decision based on your wisdom, and not your wisdom but the collective wisdom that you have gathered. So it's like entering an exam, and you cannot talk to anyone, but you have to think through and remember. So the three advices Chanakya gives is: number one, if you have time before going to war, call a meeting with all the experts. Second, if all experts are not available, at least one or two experts. No experts are available, you have to start right now. Bring in your wisdom and your intuition, and you have to fight and win over the enemy. All the best. Next question is coming from Mayank. Sir, how to overcome anxiety? Okay. So it is said that anxiety is always about the future. What's going to happen? Whether I will do well in life, whether I pass the exams, or what's going to happen to my children. Especially parents are very worried and anxious about the children's future. So anxiety is always about the future. So how to overcome it? So 2-3 things. At the very basic level, we need to work on ourselves. And when we say work on ourselves, we need to understand the difference between thinking and getting anxious. So as we would say in our Anvikshiki programs, chinta mat karo, chintan karo. So don't worry too much, don't get anxious about it. It's important to think through the situation. So if you're anxious, very first example I like to give is write it down what your anxiety is all about. And you should write it down and say, okay, why am I so anxious? What's worrying me? What's troubling me? Is it the unknown? So just write it down, and you'd be surprised that writing down has been now been used as a psychological therapy. So if you write, a lot of your stress, your tension will go away. You will release all the anxiety. Second thing, it's always better to talk to somebody when you're anxious about it. For example, let's say, again, coming back to exams or anything like that. So you just talk to somebody who is more an expert and ask them what to do. And they will guide you. So those people who have done it before you will help you. And it's said about parenting also, that if you are a first time parent, then better talk to your parents, because at one point they were also parents. So those who have walked the path before you, it's important that you consult them. And one very important thing about anxiety, remember, it's all in the mind. Same situation, somebody takes it very cool when somebody is very anxious. So if you are able to meditate every day, look at talking to God, maybe be in a prayerful mood, then anxiety will not hit you. It is said every day morning when you get up, that time make sure you have an attitude of gratitude. Instead of worrying about the future, look at the past. You actually have been very successful. Whatever you have done, we have actually achieved only because of God's grace. So if you have a prayerful mind, anxiety will not hit you. And that's what Chanakya also says, if you are having the right attitude, the right way of thinking, which we call as anvikshiki, you will be able to overcome and win over any situation. Thank you. Mihir says, sir, I'm a student of BCom who has pursued CA and I'm not able to maintain that consistency while studying in any field. And how consistency can be achieved? My question is, how to maintain that consistency? What would Chanakya say? See, it is said that there are three types of people. And the first type of people is never start, thinking about a problem. Second, start, but when they see a problem, they stop. But the third and the most successful ones are the ones who continue and stop not till thy goal is achieved. So consistency is called as dhriti in Sanskrit. What does dhriti mean? The ability to hold on. And it's not easy, you require to have patience. And how do you develop patience? Step by step, slowly, one step at a time. There's a prayer, a humorous prayer. It is said, God, grant me patience, but please give it to me right now. So you need to develop consistency. Now, how do you do that? So remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. But don't stop at the first step. Take the second step and the third step and the fourth step and the fifth step and keep going on and on. And don't worry about how much more to go, but keep walking. And Rabindranath Tagore had written a beautiful poem which inspired many freedom fighters, including Mahatma Gandhi. And that was Ekla Chalo Re. Many times you feel you are lonely on the path, but if you are on the right path, doing the right thing, and you have a great goal, then don't stop. Have prayerful attitude, believe in yourself, believe in the whole willpower that you have, and slowly you will develop it. So don't stop, keep walking. And Chanakya wanted his leaders to be consistent. Yes, not like once in a blue moon you are able to achieve results. No, leadership is about continuous results, one by one step at a time, but continuous. So have patience and keep practicing. The way to develop is patience and practice. The fourth question is coming from Nikhil. Nikhil is having this wonderful question. He says, sir, how to complete a work without a stop at middle when the externally and the internally the situations can create to exit middle of work? It always happens, when you're doing any particular work, there are two factors. One is internal, another is external. Yes. So, in fact, in our Sanskrit literature, in a great Indian culture, we say Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik and Adhyatmik. These are the three things that you have to work with. What is Adi Devik? Adi Devik is, some external situations like, storm or something like that, which is created by some, divine beings, let's say. Or heat, no, that's not created by you. Adi Bhautik, Adi Bhautik is something very worldly and something, which is not under our control. And second is Adhyatmik, the problems that come from within. Now, let's take a situation that I want to study or I want to do something with a lot of focus and concentration. You look at it. The lot of rains and storm and electricity is gone, internet is not working. So what do you do? That's Paristhiti. Now coming back, if you look at internally, you will see, your mind also has to be calm and quiet. So even if the external is very disturbing, sometimes you need to also balance your internal. And then what happens is that you are able to work even in the biggest of troubles outside. That doesn't mean, you should not have external quietude. But external quietude and internal quietude, both are important. Otherwise, we have seen in some situations, external is very quiet, but still you can't focus. So what do? You feel very disturbed, you feel very restless. So it's a calm and quiet state of mind that is very important to be achieved. So we always say that, two things to balance it out. Manasthiti and Paristhiti. Manasthiti and Paristhiti. So that's how we develop the habit of, being, again, the previous question, consistent. So how to complete a work without stop in the middle? Yes, remember, you can take breaks, but don't stop. Yes, you can take breaks, but don't stop. Think about it as if, you're going to a particular movie theater. There are breaks, there's an interval. You go refresh yourself, take up something to eat and munch, but you will never be happy till you see the whole movie. So remember, it's important to take breaks, but don't stop till you achieve your goal. Thank you. Dhruv has got a question. How to decrease generation gap between my child and myself? Okay, Dhruv. There's always this particular fantastic question that happens in every family. Generation gap. It's all about the art of parenting. Okay. There are many families where there are, 2, 3, even 4 generations staying together. And what they say is that generation gap is not just about age. It's also about the mindset. Yes. And friends, even if you are not a parent, remember one day you will become a parent. And therefore you should know the art of parenting. How do you do that? Okay, the simple thing is that there's a concept called as reverse mentoring. So what is the meaning of reverse mentoring? What is the meaning of mentoring? Mentoring when somebody elder actually mentors somebody who is below that particular level. So let's say most of us get guidance from our parents and we have to learn from our parents. But the reverse is also true. Parents can learn from children. Yes, parents can learn from children because children are good at something else and the parents are good at something else. For example, there's a joke that when I was a child, if an electronic gadget came into my house, my father would not allow to touch it. But today, if a new gadget comes, the father will ask the child and say, please help me how to operate it. So you see, the parents are learning from their children, and today even grandparents are learning from their grandchildren. So if you are on the same page, if you are together discussing the same thing, then there is no generation gap. My suggestion to the existing parents is that, don't think that your children don't know anything. Yeah, they may not know everything because life will give you a lot of experience. But to consider that, my children don't know anything, no, that's not true. So I think it's about mutual respect. And Chanakya said a lot about parenting, and it's important to know that, even we have different age groups within the same family, you can have mutual respect and learn from each other. And I read a beautiful proverb. It said, never limit your knowledge to the next generation because they are born in a different era. Yes, we can't just glorify our past as parents and say, hamare zamane mein, in our era it just happened and that happened. No. It's important to understand their starting point is different and they have a new world and a better world. So why only talk about our problems or our generation experience? Learn from the children's experience, respect them. Otherwise the generation gap will increase. But you will love, understand and communicate with each other more often, the generation gap will decrease. And friends, with the technology era, the generations have also become flat. So what parents know and what children know today, it's all there. You just go to the internet, go to Google, and they are on the same page. So it's important we are together learning. A learning family will never have a generation gap. Yes, a learning family will never have a generation gap. But a family which only demands and commands about parenting, no, they will never be happy. Yes, so be on a learning curve. And therefore Chanakya says, along with the king, there has to be Yuvraj, the prince to be, the king to be. So why is it important the king always have a Yuvraj? Because Yuvraj can come with a new idea. Yes, and the Yuvraj can learn from the Raja, and the Raja can learn from the Yuvraj. So we have to understand 2-3 generations working together only makes each other better. So be a learning family, and you will develop you will reduce the gap that we call a generation gap. In fact, starting tomorrow, we are having a program called Chanakya and the Art of Parenting. My dear friends, I would request all of you to join that particular program along with your parents. Yes, attend it together. Because, you may have certain ideas about your parents, the parents may have certain ideas about you. Why not, explore parenting together? So you may say, no, my parents will not agree. Just tell them. Believe me, Chanakya's wisdom should be learned together, not as an individual. Okay, we have the next question coming from Seema. Hello sir, now I am reading Chanakya Niti written by you. I am really liking this book and the way you explain every verse in the book. Please suggest some points which I should follow as a student. Second, I want to know more about Anvikshiki Chanakya. Please suggest me books on this. So let me answer the second question first. I want to know more about Anvikshika or Chanakya. Please suggest me books. I've written a book called as Inside Chanakya's Mind, Anvikshiki and the Art of Thinking. Yeah, remember this book? Inside Chanakya's Mind, Anvikshiki and the Art of Thinking. So that's the book to understand Anvikshiki. At the same time, I have also written a student's book, and that's called Chanakya in the Classroom, and how students can use Anvikshiki. And of course, a children's book, and that's called Chatur Chanakya. In Chatur Chanakya also we have taken the whole idea about how children can use Anvikshiki, the science of strategic thinking. So not two but three books I'm recommending. Book number 1, Inside Chanakya's Mind, Anvikshiki and the Art of Thinking. Book number 2, it is Chanakya in the Classroom, especially for students. And book number 3, Chatur Chanakya, a book for students, how to apply Anvikshiki. How do I not let other reviews their thoughts and about me to affect me and my own individual personality? Hemant has got this particular question, that how my own individual personality. See friends, you need to understand that everybody has got an unique personality. Two persons can never be the same. Two persons can never be the same. So we have to understand that you have your own unique personality and others also have their own unique personality. So it's important to respect others, because we are not born equals. We are all born unique. Yes, even two identical twins cannot be the same. So first of all, respect the the kind of individual thoughts or opinions others have, and respect your own opinion. You don't have to feel small in front of others just because you have a different opinion. So respect others individually, respect your individuality, and together with mutual respect, we actually can grow together. So that's one of the questions that I just picked up from the chats that's coming. So please keep putting in. I'll take one more. It says, where does our self-worth come from? Self-worth comes from two things: your past experience and your surroundings. So in the past, if somebody has bullied you or somebody has shown you as a low person, then somewhere we lose our self-esteem and we lose our confidence. So your past experience sometimes can become the bigger bottleneck for self-worth. Well, the second one is surroundings. Imagine you're surrounded by 10 friends and everybody calls you, you're an idiot, you're stupid, you can't do anything, you're not worth it. And slowly you start building and saying that, yeah, I think everybody calls me a stupid person, so your self-worth goes away. But imagine you're surrounded by positive people and they say, listen, you can do it, come on, you can do it. And you have it in you can do it, and suddenly your self-worth grows. So two things: if somebody has given you a low self-esteem in the past, just forget it, move on. Others are not there to decide your future. You have to decide your own future and your own life. And secondly, surround yourself with positive friends. Yes, positive friends, not just friends, okay? And Chanakya calls this Mitra Sambandha. So if you have Mitras and surrounded by positive people, your self-worth goes up. So choose your friends and your surroundings carefully. Let me move on to the other questions. Jayanta, I have a situation. I got 2 job offers. One is higher salary and one is lower. But lower one is very close to home. But how to take a decision by using Anvikshiki? Now, please understand, it is not the distance of travel, but what kind of an experience you are getting. And the more young you are, you can travel, you can travel to far off places, you can travel a lot of places because the energy levels are very high. But as you go older, and especially when you settle down with a family, you need to make sure the place of work is also close to you. So if you are a parent, that's a big decision, because it is not just about salary, but also being with your family together. And especially the working ladies and mothers know this, they choose a low paying job because they also have to take care of the family. Same thing goes with parents. If you're a career person, you will go anywhere in the world. But if you are a person who wants to spend quality time with the family also, you need to choose a place that is close to your home. Now coming back, in the early stages of your career, don't make these choices, whether it's far or low, or the salary is high or low, or the distance. Your priority should be is that whether I'm working and gathering experience from the right company and the right leaders. So if you are getting that opportunity to work with great leaders, great companies, even if it's a startup, but you are able to learn a lot, that's what you should choose. So salary is only one parameter, distance is another parameter, but in the initial stages you have to choose the learning curve, and the more you learn, and the place which is good for learning is the company and the organization that you should choose. Mahesh, how can I recognize that my child is going through any mental stress? Very good question, Mahesh. Children sometimes communicate and children sometimes don't communicate, but you should know and read their minds. And how do you do? So number one, those people who are under stress, you can see their body language. They're either depressed or they're into anxiety. They're hyper. So you should be able to watch. And the second thing to know is basically their food habits, the sleeping habits. So modern, psychologists have also actually is impacting three things. First one is the body language. They don't like to mix up with people. They want to be alone, isolated. They get very irritated. So that's the kind of a behavior pattern. Secondly, the food habits. Some people don't eat food, or some people overeat also when they're stressful. You must have seen, they bite nails and they keep hogging. So that's another indication. The third is the sleep. Those people who are highly stressed don't get quality sleep. So you can observe your child and slowly guide them. Don't just be a harsh parent and tell them command and demand. No. It's not demand and command. It's love and respect. So keep watching your child. Keep looking at what they're talking, what they're doing, whether they're in trouble. So as a parent, make sure you're watching them and of course guiding them. Don't try to break away the freedom. Give them the freedom. Watch them, support them, but don't just try to gather information and shout at them. So they require your love and care. That's great parenting. Sir, I'm 17 years old and I want to become risk management professional, advisor in information technology. What are the views of Chanakya on risk management, asset and treatment? Okay, assessment and treatment. Is that a good career option? Just I'm teen now, so I don't have enough idea on real corporate world. Thank you. That's from Hit Mehta. Hit, remember one thing. Risk management is a beautiful field. Okay, and in every particular industry, the risk managers are required. So, for example, banking. Today, one of the biggest risks in banking is about maybe cyber attacks or the kind of frauds that happen. So you can make a risk around it. The risk management happens in various industries, including the insurance industry. Even if you're building bridges, okay, then there is risk management. You have to look at the kind of material being used, etc. So broadly speaking, risk management is a very, very big field, and it's a very intellectual field. You can contribute. But at the same time, you need to do a course is what I would suggest, and maybe join a particular program on risk management. So there are a lot of theories and analysis that is done, and there are frameworks based on which you can manage and look at risk. So before you join the field of risk management, since you're a teenager, it's important you join a particular course, then join a company. In the initial stage, don't look at the salary, gather some experience, and over a period of time, you become a specialist in risk management. Great field, a field of the future, but first thing, get educated. Second thing, get experience in risk management. Then you will have a great career in the same field. All the best. We got Prakriti. When people help us and without our knowledge they suffer because of helping us, we feel very guilty and start feeling inferior in that relationship, be it parent, friend or any other relationship. And when we feel inferior, we can't feel the same love for them in that relationship. We feel indebted, inferior and guilty. Okay, how to remove the guilt? Okay, see, life should not be taken very negatively. You should never feel guilty. And guilt is so dangerous that it loses your it builds on you, and then you lose your own confidence. So your question is about relationships and guilt. In life there is nothing called as a perfect relationship, but you have to make every relationship perfect. So if somebody is trying to work on something that happened wrongly in the past, you have to move on. You have to tell yourself, and listen, it happened now, I can't be sticking to it lifelong. So it's important to know that guilt is always about something you did not do or something that you did. But life is not about going to the past. Life is always about moving to the future. So don't feel guilty, but if you have done some mistakes and all, discuss this out, maybe just tell sorry and just move on in life. But if you keep the guilt, then it just builds on you and you lose your confidence, you lose your self-esteem, your self-worth. So my suggestion to you is that if you are feeling guilt for a certain thing, just speak it out. Talk to that particular person, or and take the advice of a mentor. Just talk it out and let it out. If it stays in, it will grow inside you, and then finally it can spoil your health, your life, and your career also. So just remove the guilt, understand what's the factor that makes you feel guilty, just come out of it. As a college student who doesn't earn but has to in a few years, I'm very nervous and cared about making a living and taking up responsibilities towards my family as well. How to get rid of this fear? What is it that I need to understand and nurture in me? Friends, don't look at what's going to happen in the future. When you get a job, you'll have a family. Family is about responsibilities. Friends, take one step at a time. Live in the present. Don't worry too much about the future. One of the questions asked was about anxiety. Why do you feel anxiety about what's going to happen in the future? Don't worry about it. Every stage when you go in life, the solution will also come along with the problems. Remember this, I didn't tell that problem has solutions. There is a solution for every problem. So you have to have faith in God and have faith in yourself. Chanakya is making Chandragupta Maurya a king, a leader of a complete kingdom. Do you think he knows everything about his future as a king? No. Just become a king, and one step at a time you'll get solved. There will be people who will come and help you. The resources will come. The advisors will come. So don't feel it's a lonely journey. Life is never a lonely journey. Life is about having a lot of people along with you. So one of my favorite authors is Anthony de Mello. Very beautiful books he used to write. So there's a beautiful instance in one of the chapters. The book was called as Prayer of the Frog. And many books he wrote, Anthony de Mello, like Song of the Bird. So there's a beautiful discussion with the pendulum clock. Some of you must have seen the pendulum clock. So he asked the pendulum, how many times have you been doing this? For maybe 50 years. And he starts counting 50 years and how many times you have moved. How did you manage all these things? And the pendulum clock says, I don't worry about the future. I just move one time in a second. So if I move 1 second, and then naturally I'll move the next second and the next second. So I take care of seconds. The second takes care of the minutes. Minutes will take care of the hours, days, weeks, months, years. So remember one thing, don't worry about your future. Concentrate on your present. Of course, you have to plan your future, no doubt about it. But don't worry about your future. Take one step at a time. Have faith in God. Everybody's future is brilliant. Believe in yourself. We take up the last question for the day from Ramamurthy. How can I encourage my child to play outdoor games instead of playing on mobile? Absolute parenting problem. Okay, we were born in a generation where playing with friends, just going and climbing trees. Yeah, I want to tell the young generation, the children, that we actually climb trees. Today people are only using gadgets and playing on the mobile. But I want to tell you something, that it's a mix of both. So I'm not telling you don't play on the computer or don't play on the mobile. You should. Why not? Because it gives you a lot of information access. The point is that don't just sit and play with the gadgets. Go out and play also. So balance both. And for all the parents, I want to tell you this. Don't try to pull your children backward. Their future is always forward. So we say go out and play. Why not? So how do you do that? First of all, you also go out and play. And make sure they have a friend circle, because going out and playing is not about one person. It's about a group. And let me tell you, friends, when you go out in a group, you develop teamwork. Sometimes it's fighting, hitting each other. That's all okay. Part
It's
of growing
8
up.
o'clock.
So it's important to know that all of us should go out and play. At the same time, use technology. So it's inside and outside. So bahar jaake kheliye. Go out and play outside and also play inside. So balance both. So thank you, Ramamurthy sir, about this particular question. In fact, an extension of it, I request all people who are watching it to please encourage everyone, including your family members, especially your parents. And if you're already a parent, to start attending a program that we are doing starting from tomorrow, 7:30 to 9 p.m. India time, Chanakya and the Art of Parenting. Yes, Chanakya was a kingmaker. He was making every child a leader. How do you do that? How parents do that? Come on, join. And there was this question about generation gap. We'll try and solve it. Because parents also require education, children also require education about parenting. Let 2 generations attend it. So friends, if you want to gift something to your parents, this is for you. Okay, so starting from tomorrow, 3 days, we'll be back and doing this particular program, Chanakya and the Art of Parenting. Till then, thank you so much for your wonderful questions, and we'll be coming back soon on another series and another episode of Ask Chanakya. Please follow us, follow all our bios and handles, and you'll be able to come to know about all that we do on Chanakya. Read books, attend programs, pass it on, and make sure you are applying Chanakya Niti in your life.